Hello, my friends. Hello, it's Matthew Street, and welcome to my channel. I really appreciate you being here as always. And folks, I have something very special coming up on August 1st. Yes, indeed. And I'm going to tell you about some really cool stuff and leading up to what I'll be doing. But it's a first for me. The first time, folks, that I have ever interviewed a major player in the music industry one-on-one by myself. So we'll see how that goes as far as the technology and how I can put this whole thing together. But it's going to be a very extensive interview. There's going to be a lot of cool stuff, and I'm going to tell you all about it in 1 minute. But first, I have to do some background. Now, you all know the story. If you've been watching my channel for the last 5 years, wow, I can't believe 5 years I've been here on YouTube with the Matthew Street channel. You know the story about back in the day, how Mom and Dad, 3-year-old Matthew Street, received these 2 albums from Mom and Dad as a young child, and I went crazy, and my world has never been the same since, folks. You know the story. Mom and Dad bought me those first Beatles albums, continued to buy me some Beatles albums through the 60s, and I was hooked. That was it. My parents love music. They listen to a lot of music, and as a matter of fact, nowadays I enjoy and appreciate their music from their era, from the 40s, 50s, and early 60s. So what do you know? Well, as I got older, I was obviously, like the rest of you, going to seek or find ways to find music on my own, to get out there and buy my own. I may not have had a license, but when Mom or Dad took me out and I had some allowance money or some holiday money or birthday money, whatever, I could ask to buy an album, and they would be nice enough to take me to the store so I could do so. Now, I'm going to tell you about one particular visit. I wanted the song Twist and Shout so bad. I had to have it. And I knew it was on this album right here. And I said, Mom, Dad, I want it. So, I remember the day. I was with my mom. My dad was working. Mom took me to the store to buy this album to get Twist and Shout. This was the album it was on here in the United States. Now, I get into the store, though, and I'm looking around, and I saw something. And I said, what is that? And folks, I saw this. I saw this album. I was, what is that? You got this. I knew Twist and Shout was on here, but then as you look at the back, it's the same picture, but full size. And here's early Beatles. I said, what is this? What is this album? I started digging further and realized there was a little orange sticker on it. Now, it's long gone now, but I do have a copy of it right here on another album I have, Gem Records. This little triangular orange sticker, or a close facsimile of it. Gem Records had different types of orange stickers they would put on the outer packaging, but there was a little Gem Records sticker on here, and I was like, this is amazing. What is this? Why have I never seen it before? I didn't understand it. Well, as I did the research, folks, I figured out that it was Gem Records out of New Jersey, and that Gem Records was importing hard-to-find or rare records from overseas into the United States so consumers and music lovers here in America could buy them. And folks, let me tell you, it didn't take long over the ensuing years for me to get hooked on buying hard-to-find, rare Gem Records imports. Now, they were importing all kinds of stuff. Like I said, I got my Beatles Help Gem import. Stuff like, you know, from other countries, the Beatles Yeah, Gem import. This was a big one. This was huge. If you couldn't find this in America, but Gem Records imported it. That's how we got it. How about albums like The Beatles Beat? Gem Records import. Never saw it before here. But boy, Gem brought it over, and I scooped it up as many of you did. Loved it, loved it, loved it. But it wasn't just the Beatles, folks. I couldn't even pull all the records I got out through Gem Records. But stuff like the Beach Boys Live on the Water Zoo, whatever, stuff like that you could get from Gem Records here. Or there was a Kinks live album that we had domestically, but then I saw this, the Kinks live at Kelvin Hall. It's probably or close to being maybe the same exact show that we got here in America, but totally different cover, totally different title, totally different artwork on it and design, but stuff like that. And so many more we could get, folks. How many of you of my age category where you could get these cool Gem Records imports? And especially for me, the Beatles was huge. That's what I had to get. Well, let me tell you, my interview coming up August 1st is going to be with the current owner and president of Gem Records, Marty Scott. So please come join me August 1st. Now let me give you a little bit of background. How it all started was, real quick, because you're going to see it in the interview, Reader's Digest version. The early 70s, you get 3 college-age kids, Jeff Tenenbaum, Ed Grossi, and Marty Scott. First letters of their first names, Jeff, Ed, Marty. Gem. Okay, so that's how they came up with the name of the label. It was a college idea to bring rare, hard-to-find stuff that you could not get domestically in America, bring it in, import it in, and it took off, folks. It went haywire. People loved getting these imports, having the ability. Record stores loved stocking them. The consumers and the customers loved getting them. So a little college idea, 3 young college kids come up with the idea of doing this, and it takes off. And now here we are, 50 years later. Gem Records is about to celebrate their 50th year. And what they did over the years is, as years went by, like they got to the point where they actually had actual catalogs like this. This is the Gem Records import catalog from 77 and 78. As you can see. All right, here's the back. I mean, look at this thing, folks. You can't even believe the amount. This would go to stores all across America, and the stores would pick and choose what import. We want this, we want that. I want 20 of those. Give me a bunch of Beatles for sale. Give me a bunch of the Please Please Me album. I mean, unbelievable, folks. And I just want to show you the Beatles page because it's right in the front here, and it's really so cool to see. For me to see as the consumer who back when I was a kid was buying this stuff, that here's how I was getting it. Right here. There it is. As you can see, they actually have some pictures in the catalog there. Some more Beatle pictures up there of different albums you could get. But I mean, record stores would look at this and say, oh, Please Please Me, With the Beatles, A Hard Day's Night, Beatles for Sale, Help, Rubber Soul, Revolver, Sgt. Pepper, Magical Mystery Tour EP, which was the 2-disc. They were importing the White Album from overseas, the Abbey Road, Let It Be, Yellow Submarine, the overseas versions, collection of Beatles oldies, Beatles Beat, the early years with Tony Sheridan, the Beatles Greatest. Remember that one? I've got that one here somewhere. I didn't pull that one out. The Beatles tapes with the David Wigg interviews was an import. Overseas 62 to 66, 67 to 70, overseas rock and roll music, live at the Star Club import, live at the Hollywood Bowl an import, and a French box set. A special packaging of 12 French Beatles albums, some with different covers, from Let It Be down to Beatles #1. Comes in a sturdy, attractive box. Cool. I mean, so Gem Records just exploded. Imports all over the place, folks. I'm sure many of you know what I'm talking about if you're of that age. Well, Gem Records, as I said, is celebrating their 50th anniversary, and Marty Scott, owner and current president of Gem Records, has agreed to do this interview with me. It's going to be great. What they're doing in recent years is they really don't need to import records anymore. I mean, those days are long gone. But what Marty does now with Gem Records is he signs artists and new artists, and he's releasing great new music on his label for about the past 9 years or so, since 2013. And you know many of the artists. I've talked about many of the artists that are on Gem Records. The Weaklings, the Gripweeds, the Anderson Council, one of my favorite bands of all time, the Midnight Callers, Nick Puente and the Complicated Men, Jonathan Pushkar, Lisa Michaels, Richard Barone, the Gold Needles, the Airport 77s. I could go on and on. I know I'm missing some. He signed so many great artists and is releasing albums over these last 9 years and many more to come of these artists. But also, he's doing something really great in the power pop and rock and roll genre. He's doing a series of compilations that are fabulous, folks. Absolutely fabulous. What they do is they celebrate the greatest songwriters of all time. Marty's been releasing about one a year, and in this extensive interview, he's going to talk about the newest one coming out August 5th. Gem Records celebrates Pete Townsend. Now, last year, as you know, we had Gem Records celebrates Brian Wilson in 2021. The year before that, in 2020, we had the first one, Gem Records celebrates John Lennon. So, folks, let me tell you something. These are absolutely wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I'm going to show them to you like that right here. Folks, Marty is so kind to sit with me and do this interview. He talks about so many things. I don't want to give too much away here. Let me just say that he tells lots of great stories, lots of music business type stories and little flourishes that you're going to love. Deals he made with some albums that he was able to bring over, and then the artist broke big here in the United States after he imported the rap. You're going to hear all this stuff. You're going to hear about the Beatles, The Who, Cheap Trick, Pete Townsend, other artists. It's going to be a lot of fun, folks. So I wanted to just do this video. I know it's about 12 minutes long, but to give you some background and tell you all about this. And many of you probably already know about Gem Records and whatnot from watching my channel. But folks, come back on August 1st, and please, I implore you and ask you as a friend, please, if you'll support my video and support Marty and Gem Records by giving me some views for this video on August 1st, I'd really appreciate it. Not from me so much, but from Marty, to show support for his label, that he's out there working hard to bring new rock and roll to the masses, and it's much appreciated. So August 1st, look for my video, interview with Marty Scott. And then, as I said, Gem Records celebrates Pete Townsend. Will be out on CD and vinyl. Get your vinyl. On August 5th. Thanks, folks. See you soon. I may be back with another video before then, but please come back August 1st and check out that video. I appreciate it. Love you. Bye-bye.